Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Saturday Boys, where every day is a Saturday. Come hang out with us as we chat about movies, games, music, and whatever else, all over nice, cold drinks. My name is Nick, and I'm joined by Anthony.
Hi.
And Brandon.
Hello.
What's up, guys? I am excited for today's episode. I don't know if you guys are. I've been doing research on this for forever.
Watched the movie like 5 times in the last 2 weeks.
Me too.
Last 2 weeks, God, I go to sleep to this movie. So,
Might
yeah.
start.
Let's start with what we're drinking today because it pertains to it. So, ooh,
We have made
Butterbeer.
butterbeer.
butterbeer alcoholic beverage.
Yes,
It's
cocktail
cocktail butterbeer.
I want to drink this so bad. Let's cheers.
Cheers it. Yeah, mine's melting anyway.
Yes, I'm frothing at the mouth for this drink that I want. It is also frothy.
That's so damn
Yes. Hits. It hits. It's so
And you
good.
get the froth on the lips. Mm.
It is perfect. Okay, what we've done is whipped cream vodka, butterscotch schnapps or butter shots, A&W cream soda, and then a little bit of Ready Whip
Whipped
on
cream,
top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you can either let the froth just sit at the top and then you get a little bit of froth every time, or you can whip it into the drink too. Either way it works. We've tried both.
This is a bit more visually appealing.
We did try this. We watched the movie together last week, and we did
maybe
drink,
an hour ago.
we did drink one while we watched the movie, and
It pairs very well with watching the movie.
I encourage it to anybody that loves the Harry Potter franchises. Drink one of these while you watch it, and it is magical.
Definitely is.
And we have Butterfingers.
I know. You randomly had these Butterfingers. We're like, we're gonna Butterfinger with a butter beer.
Yeah, it was in the fate. He just had 3.
It was pretty funny. But yeah, doing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone today. Mostly the first movie. We will probably talk about some franchise stuff. So spoilers for the whole franchise if you've never seen it. It is 20 years old this month. That is ridiculous that the movie is 20 years old.
Right? Just literally grew up with it.
Yeah, I'll put this
So
down.
we've said Harry Potter spoilers now, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody's left the room.
Yeah, Snape
You're
killed
killing me
Dumbledore.
with
Yeah, the mustache, dude.
It's so... I can't.
For the audio listeners,
You're missing
Brandon
out.
licked
Please
his
watch the video.
mustache. Oh, I'm gonna censor that shit.
Still watch the video. It's
Dumbledore
still,
guys.
wow.
I said Snape killed Dumbledore like a minute ago.
Yeah.
Did you really? How the fuck did I not hear that?
Oh, random fact. I talked to someone. So that Snape kills Dumbledore. One of the famous spoilers that like the internet does. Another spoiler for the movie Sixth Sense. If you've never seen it, I saw I talked to a coworker of mine who had never got it spoiled and watched through it like the previous week, and just his mind was blown. He's like, "Dude, I didn't know what was gonna happen at the end." I'm like, how did you?
Not hear about that.
Never ever hear about the Sixth Sense spoiler. You're just like, no, dude. I never came across it, and I was watching it the other day, and dude, it blew my mind. I was like, okay, I didn't think people like
You existed.
don't know that Snape kills Dumbledore.
Bruce
Willis is dead. It's Sixth Sense.
He's dead. He's a
It's-
ghost
those
the
are like-
whole time.
What are the other like classic spoil? Let's just spoil it. Just kidding.
That's what this
Spoil
real episode's
everything
about.
into
Yeah.
oblivion.
No, but it's just it was funny random side fact. Just thought I'd bring that up.
Like, I'm really
Because-
good about not getting stuff spoiled, but like that old?
Yeah.
Side note,
I'm not
fuck
that lucky.
Butterfingers, but I love Butterfingers.
Yeah,
Messy
it's Nestle.
Yeah.
But they at least changed the recipe and it tastes a little bit better recently. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
I think these are old ones though.
Well, rest
These
in
don't
peace.
these don't taste like new recipe.
no?
We got that old style high fructose corn syrup taste in them that we all love.
Well, it says no artificial flavors.
It's a joke. It's a joke. All right, let's move on to the news so I can get into Harry Potter because that's what I want to talk about. Mine relates to the series, so I'm going last.
His also relates to the series.
Oh, so I guess your default to first, Brandon.
I am also.
What is up with the not so
first.
important news?
R. Kelly's Brooklyn cellmate penned comic of Pear's life behind bars.
What?
R. Kelly's Brooklyn cellmate penned comic of Pear's life behind bars. Penned. All right, penned was the word that missed me. That wrote or drew, I'm assuming. That's I was like, he penned what? Okay. So R. Kelly and his roommate.
His cellmate.
His cellmate. Well, roommate.
Prison comics.
Oh my god.
They're busting through the wall.
Prison.
And it's kind of funny because at first it starts with like R. Kelly introducing himself, and he's like, trapped in the closet, ignition, and the guy's like, I've never heard of it, doesn't ring a bell, and he's like, I'm R. Kelly, and he's like, yeah, but have you ever heard of like Megadeth? and then they're like, hey, but let's do yoga and work out together. And then they work out together.
I don't want to read a comic about R. Kelly.
This is R. Kelly and his cellmate doing yoga together.
How is it? What's happening?
This is
I don't
real.
want to I don't want to edit in these photos, Brandon.
You're gonna have to. I've already done it to you. I'm sorry.
It's established. It's canon.
It is law. Okay, so there's a whole comic series.
Yeah, and then they get ripped and they're best friends.
Well, as you do. Yeah.
That is my story.
I don't even want to tell mine now. It pertains to the movie, but it's not as cool as that.
So for those listening, we're thinking of idea of doing a couple live episodes soon, and we're gonna go. Oh yeah, we probably won't do the news on those episodes, and I think that is the pinnacle article of why we probably won't do the news on like live episode, like not live, but I guess record it live with the movie or something. We're still penning out the idea, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Anthony, what was your article about this week?
It was about a wizard.
Cool.
A New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after 2 decades.
No, not right. New Zealand wizard.
His damn photo.
He's one of the 2 blue wizard mother. There's always a white wizard, some weird gray wizard off in the distance, some 2 blue dudes. It's a D&D joke.
But it's went right over my head. I'm sorry. So in Christchurch, New Zealand, which I didn't know was even a name of a place there.
It's a pretty big city in New Zealand.
I guess that's not a lot about New Zealand. Is parting ways with his official city wizard after more than 2 decades. His offensive remarks about women and the local government's new tourism strategy reportedly spelled his doom.
Okay, so can they back up and say why they had a wizard on the payroll for a couple years there, 2 decades?
So it kind of goes it goes into detail about it, but the actual reason I didn't get that far in the article, but I know that apparently on 6,000 New Zealand or 16,000 New Zealand or 11,000 USD was how much he made a year from doing this.
How much?
So 11,000 USD. So 16.
It's like nothing,
right? But it's not like an actual job. Like it's just something more or less like a side thing he was doing. Just imagine just doing that for doing like
some shit,
being like a living like museum like attraction more or less. It's kind of like what it seemed to be. But do you want to hear the thing he said that possibly got him canned?
Yes, please.
I love women. I forget them all the time. I've never struck one yet. Never strike a woman because they bruise too easily is the first thing, and they'll tell the neighbors and their friends, and then you'll be in big trouble.
Oh.
So it's kind of understandable. It's like, what the hell, guy? It's pretty bad.
The wizard doesn't beat women because he doesn't want the neighbors to tell. Yeah,
because he's worried he's going to get in trouble.
That's why.
Because it's too easy to get caught doing something wrong. It's not because it's wrong, but it's because it's too easy to get caught.
He's like, why beat a woman when you can use magic on them?
Example number 2 of why we shouldn't do articles if we are doing a thing, because I was all in the Harry Potter mood. And what the fuck? Do you want me to rewrite my article, you guys?
Is it good or like? I mean, not is it good? That didn't mean it like that. Is it like his or is it like uplifting?
It's from InsideTheMagic.net.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let's hear yours. I don't like his as much. I mean, I like his, but I don't like his.
All right. to bring it back around, mine is a Universal Park shuts down outdoors attraction after extreme snowstorm hits. And it's pictures of Harry Potter in Florida covered in snow.
What?
Florida got a random snowstorm.
Interesting. And so they couldn't run their outdoor rides?
They couldn't run their outdoor rides onto Twitter.
That includes Hagrid's.
Mm-hmm. But we got beautiful Hogsmeade covered in snow.
That's so cool.
Look at those photos. Oh, so
And our butterbeer.
butterbeer. See, just look at this photo and then
Yes.
wrap yourself in a blanket. Put on Harry Potter 6 because
3.
Well, I'm trying to think. They drink butterbeers in 6. So
think so.
in Hogsmeade.
Yeah.
So
That's true. But this is a
I
cold.
have watched these movies too many times.
This is a cold butterbeer.
This is.
You can do a warm butterbeer. I don't really know how you'd.
I don't have you do an alcoholic warm butterbeer.
Yeah.
Just to make it taste good. I'm not good at warm liquor. We're in Arizona. We don't drink it here too much.
Yeah. If you're West Coast, you just drink it cold.
Yeah.
But
So on to the main event, Harry Potter 1. Man, I feel like I've always known this series. We're the perfect age to grow up with these movies. I mean,
Yes.
I was 9 when the first one came out. So
yeah, that would make sense.
I turned 11 that year, so I was.
wait, no, 2001.
Yeah. So you should have been.
I'm only 8 months younger than you. I was born in 92, so 2001 I'd be 9. We
How?
were younger than the kids.
But in year 2000, I was turned 9.
Because you're 91. Year 2000, I turned 8.
I turned 6.
I can't do math right now, apparently.
Is it because the movie came out, what, 2001, right?
2001.
Yeah, so then I
Yeah.
was 10.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I was
Yeah.
9. Yeah,
it was
you
6.
said that so weird. I was like, can't math right now.
Well, that's like 'cause I was
Butterbeer,
9 in 2000.
we
So,
may have already had
so
a
then I was
drink
10
now.
and
I was so young that the
'Cause you were
preview kind of scared
6?
me. Yeah, it was 6. So
Really?
The preview kind of scared me because it was kind
Yeah.
of dark tones.
I mean,
and-
the first two definitely have a distinct tone. So I can see how it can kind of be
the movie's pretty whimsical,
intimidating.
but there's definitely some stuff that could be frightening to a younger
fluffy.
kid.
yeah.
You know, I was more
Early
afraid
CGI.
of like it was the Gringotts goblins kind of scared me a little
Oh,
bit.
the kind of uncanny valley, some of the like practical effects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, Fluffy didn't scare me so much.
2 CG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fine. It was just more like I think they made one of the trailers just more creepy.
You watched
than
the trailer and you just didn't like it, dude.
But then I watched the movie and I loved it. So
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Nice. But yeah, so let's see. I the way I've seen all of the books and movies was like I think the trailers were coming out for the first movie, so I wanted to read it. So me and my mom read the entire series together. So that's also I do
My mom
hold
read
this
me the
series.
whole
Yep.
series, yeah.
So it's just very nice. Watch it. I kind of as a young person seeing the trailers, I kind of was able to attach like Daniel Radcliffe to Harry Potter and get like a visual as of the trailers before I saw the movie.
That's how I
really
felt
nice.
too. Is like it built the world building helped each other, like between the movies and the novels coming out around the same time.
And by doing it
Yeah.
so early and doing that way, I became that person who would always read the book and compare the movies to the book and go,
Oh.
the book is so much better than the movie.
Yeah.
For years, I was that person. Then I just stopped caring. And I'm like, dude, they both can be great. You can choose one or the other.
Yeah, they're just
at times.
once you get older. I mean, not to say anybody that isn't compared.
You can arguably say, for me, I do
Yeah.
actually, oh man, but the book has more, but they're different experiences. For
That's
me,
exactly.
that's so
I think
hard.
once you have it long enough, you just kind of appreciate that they're different things. You go,
Yeah.
okay, well they did more like for cinematic purposes.
Objectively, some are better. Like the book is better than the movie is better than the book in certain ways, for me at least.
Yeah, and it just kind of depends on the book, like or the movie.
5.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I was able to read all of them. I had the Lego sets. I played the Game Boy Advance games.
GameCube.
All into them.
I have a wand.
I have one too.
I have this illustrated
Let's
version of
let's get
Sorcerer
into
Stone.
our notes, chapter by chapter, scene by scene, kind of talking about what we want to talk about, and then as we get to the themes as they're introduced, we will talk about them. Is kind of how I see. Let's see. All right, so the book starts off very differently than the movies. The first, I always remember every time I would go back and reread it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like Vernon for like 6 pages.
Yeah, and
You
his
know-
day job.
Yep, and seeing
Right.
weird people in green robes all day, and then finally it gets to night, which was where the movie starts.
Yeah.
So, movie directed by Chris Columbus, freaking scored by John Williams. Oh my God, I love the score to these films.
Yes.
It's almost unbeat. Yeah, it's so freaking good.
After now, this is the 20-year anniversary, and they're doing like a bunch of interviews and stuff like that. Christopher Columbus has been out talking about like the shoots of the two movies, 720 days or something like that to shoot the two movies.
Wow.
Like almost straight, very small breaks because they could only shoot for a couple hours a day because they're kids.
Oh, the kids. That's right.
So
Did they get commissioned for the first two movies right away? Okay.
basically, they did their time blocks, and then he wanted to be a part of it, but he couldn't direct anymore because he's from Chicago and they were in London, everyone else. So that's why they went with English actors and directors and other stuff for some later films and all that. And then Daniel, the director for like the second half of the series. Why isn't my mind blanking on me? I have it right in front of me. Actually, it might not say it on the Blu-ray set.
God, why am I blanking on his name? I knew it like an hour ago.
We only see it.
Jeez, I wonder why I forgot. Oh no.
It could be the butterbeer. It could be the butter beers.
Yeah, it could be the butterbeers. Why am I?
David Yates.
David
There we
Yates.
go.
God damn it! I was gonna
Yeah.
get it. Why'd you say it?
Because I do want this
Sorry,
episode
not
to be
sorry?
less than 2 hours long because we could go
Fuck
on
you.
about this episode for 2 hours. But no, it's...
We'll just make us more butterbeers an hour through, and then we'll.
I do have the toasty warm face from the butterbeers. I definitely can say that. But no, the Deluminator scene in the beginning, that's such a cool effect that never
Yes.
serves its purpose until like J.K. Rowling remembers it 8 books later. It's like, oh
Awesome.
shit, I can do something with this.
Yeah, like never happens.
It was just a cool scene. It's like,
And then he's like, "Here you go, Ron."
I know. It's like and that thing
It
in
gets
7, I
like-
still never understand that. We'll talk about that when we get to it. But the something I want to talk about says the first 2 films, it's better in the second one, but this is 2001 when they're making these. So early CGI, some stuff is better than others.
Yep.
I wrote that we see McGonagall turn into a cat. So McGonagall is, hiding out in the books. We see her like reading maps and stuff like that. But in the
Yeah.
movie, she just appears. It's really cool. And you see her either turn to the shadows, which I think is a really cool effect in that first shot, versus the full CGI transformation we see
She
later.
jumps at you and
Oh, that's the scene.
Animorphs.
Animorphs.
Beautiful.
Love that.
I do prefer the shadow. I think.
Yeah.
it's more of like it's still CGI, I believe, but it appears to be more of practical CGI. It's not so in your face. Like, here's our 2000s new CGI.
There's a couple of things
Ages
like that I wrote in here that I'm like, that didn't age well. Ooh.
God, Neville looks
Neville.
terrible.
We'll get to Neville. But yeah, he's got the lightning bolt scar on his forehead, which in the film
Most
they
of the
made more
time.
like a triangle. No, I'm saying in the film they made more like a triangle, like Z type thing. Christopher Columbus just came out and was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure we effed up the design on that in the first film, and they just like kept it because it's how we did it. And he's like, and you can see in like the director's commentary, they forgot to put it on him for a lot of scenes. They're like, his hair will just cover it, and they're like, he moves, and it's like, no scar. It's like, oop. There's a decent number of scenes where you can see it, not see it. Except for the ones where he specifically goes, I'm Harry. Holds up the scar on his forehead.
Focuses on the scar.
But yeah, the first chapter, there's not too many differences between the book and movie, though, other than the intro.
Right.
Hagrid is a lot more Scottish in the books, though. It's hard reading Scottish, like, enunciation. It's like, it's like,
Yeah, it's pretty
Like,
jarring.
Yeah. But yeah, the Harry Potter theme, because we get John Williams' score, we get the Harry Potter theme more than just 3 seconds because they could afford the license. So we get it throughout the whole movie. And such a classic. I played that, and also because I was in band, that we always had the Harry Potter book. So everyone would play Harry Potter tunes, especially from the first 2. So good.
Love that.
But then it gets on to the second chapter where the Vanishing Glass, where Harry's now 10 years older, or 11, I guess, because he's turning 11.
Mm-hmm.
And living in the cupboard under the stairs, one of the most iconic little name Harry Potter 4 Privet Drive cupboard under the stairs,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you were in there for that long, that would be so... Man, like in the books, it describes him as like skinny and like daintily because he's like, well-fed and all that.
It's pretty small.
Yeah.
It's pretty small in there, man. I would not be comfortable.
I have a frog in my throat and it's not a chocolate frog.
Is it Neville's
I do. Trevor! I do like comfortable spaces occasionally, but like for periods of time where I know I can escape.
Yeah,
That would be a
but
cool
living in
nook
it.
for naps occasionally.
And like, because
Yeah.
one of my buddies had a tiny little room like that. We'd like set up a TV and we'd play games and like hide out and
Yeah.
stuff. That was fun, but
Yeah, that's
it was always
cool,
more of like
but-
a side thing. That wasn't the bedroom.
Yeah.
That would suck. But yeah, he's got the... I don't know. It's just J.K. Rowling managed to create a very iconic character straight off from the start. With the hair, the glasses, the broken glasses, the scar, all that. It was very relatable.
Yeah.
No.
But
No?
well, you know
Okay.
what I mean. For like, she created an iconic protagonist for a series, like a Frodo or a Luke Skywalker. Like a character that defining features that, like, oh, I know what that is.
Yeah. Paul.
Not Paul. Jesus Christ, that's one thing that Paul Aristides or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Finally getting these guys into Dune.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Paul
I
of-
heard that one.
Paul of Arachnids.
That sounds about right. But they force Harry to cook up British bacon, which that is the most unappealing looking bacon I've ever seen.
Abomination.
Just like
British
slabs
food.
of ham. Except for the
Not
actually
my favorite.
all the other food in this film is great. All the food up and
Yeah.
down the great halls.
As for breakfast, they're like, no.
No.
Even the worst they can get.
Paul Atreides.
God damn it. There you go. But no, they've got the...
I did not remember for the life of me.
It's okay. That's the issue with that is that film has a lot of like made up words. This one at least has made up words that we've known for 20 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a little easy.
You ever read The Clockwork Orange?
I haven't read it. I've seen bits and pieces of the movie. I haven't even seen the movie
You want
completely.
to talk about some made up fucking words?
Oh, a lot of them in there.
Yep.
Rough.
A lot of them. It's hard to read. But that's not the book we're fucking talking
No, it isn't.
about.
We're talking about Harry Potter.
Yeah. In the cupboard under the stairs. And Dudley
He
being
gets
a little shit and
37
jumping on
presents. You know.
them. Yes.
No, 30. No, so he had
It's-
36. Last year he had
depends
37.
On, yeah. Well,
They
also-
change, right?
Yeah, it depends on the book.
Yeah,
yeah.
it depends on whether you're watching the movie or reading the book.
Drink.
Right. But yeah, no, he's a little shit, and I hate him.
Yeah, they do a real good job with the Dursleys in the films. I mean,
Yeah.
the dad, such a no post on Sunday. I just love everything that.
I like it. He's like,
Vernon
no post on
does.
Sunday. Oh. Like he does that like a little, like he's just so happy about it. Ooh.
I'm not going crazy,
And then he gets post.
but then he gets post. But yeah, no,
And they
that's
go to a lighthouse.
you're already skipping. I haven't even talked about Nagini yet.
Nagini.
Yeah, the
Who said
retcon.
that's Nagini?
Suddenly Spanish amigo.
Yeah, I know. The Harry Potter I read, that was a
I know.
fucking Brazilian.
No, from Burma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Was not Brazil?
is it Brazil?
No, I thought it was Brazil.
Thought it was.
Does
That
it-
might be another
Brazil.
difference. There's too many of
Brazil.
them.
Brazil.
I remember reading Brazil.
But that was a very different. The book has that weird kid that was just the Dudley's friend who would just serve nothing to the plot. And
I don't remember.
yeah, Dudley brought a friend that Harry also kind of like
Yes.
Oh.
traumatized.
No,
yeah,
that's right. Okay.
because I don't think they like fell into the glass, but they like just the snake came out and like jumped at him and it freaked him out. But yeah,
Burmese python.
Burmese, yeah, from Burma.
The boa constrictor was rumored to actually be Nagini, but this has since been proven false, as
Oh.
Nagini is a female while the snake at the zoo was a male.
Yeah, but it could also be retconned into the series. The Nagini hadn't even really been talked about. No, 4 had come out by the time the first movie came out.
Says
So
in the film, the snake Harry speaks to is a Burmese python rather than the Brazilian boa.
that's why I'm
constrictor.
confused.
So
They switched out the snake on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, at least we got that settled.
Yeah.
Oh no.
One clarification down. But yeah, they also talk about other weird magic Harry did, like in the books. Like, what other weird stuff do you think, like, would happen, like, to a kid, like, trapped underneath the stairs? Like, a cousin's being weird, tie his shoe. I don't know. He never go into it. Like, they have a couple examples.
The same
in
thing
the
that
book.
happened to R. Kelly. He was trapped in the closet.
I'm on fire.
So one of the things, like, I guess it's because like, you know, like how he always Dudley would always like, or it's not always, but he stomped on the stairs in the movie. I wonder if like there's ever a moment where he made him like slip one time, so he just like kind of rolled down the stairs a little bit.
That'd be satisfying to hear too. Right. Oh my god.
Oh my gourds.
My gourds.
Gourds.
Oh, and then the movie cuts him out from moving between the rooms because once he gets his letter that says cupboard underneath the stairs, they move him into the spare bedroom, and then they get another letter that says the spare bedroom. And it's like, they're watching us.
They'll always find you.
That's basically what makes them go kind of crazy. That they like eventually like go to a
Dad's
hotel.
gone mental.
Well, they like
Daddy's gone mental.
It's such a cool shot with all of the letters flying through while the theme's just blasting and he's jumping. Why is he jumping in the air trying to grab them? Grab one from the ground and run.
It's more whimsical.
You think a skinny kid who's been trapped underneath the stairs knows how to run from abusers? Yeah.
I got heavy.
You know what I mean, though?
But also the fact that like when he got the first letter, that knowing his situation, why he brought it with him to the kitchen. Why didn't he just like...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. So it's like both moments, I think it's just like the convenience just to have the scenes that they wanted to have happen.
Eh.
Yeah. But I guess also it's all the way it is in the book too. Like it's, I guess it introduces more conflicts, then it's more going on. Otherwise it's a lot of that story's lost. A lot of that, there's nothing to overcome. It's too easy. Like, oh, here's this letter. Cool. There's this thing I need to do. Bye.
Nice.
Can't have that. It's not fun.
But then they eventually make their way to, like, they take a boat to an island with a cabin on it.
Would you just, like, how can you just do that suddenly?
England.
Okay.
England.
But then Hagrid comes in, who I didn't make the connection that was Robbie Coltrane. That is freaking Gimli. Not Gimli. Robbie. Sala. Isn't Sala Robbie Coltrane? Hold on.
What?
Yeah, who we talking?
Robbie Coltrane.
That is Hagrid.
Hagrid, yeah. Doesn't he place Harry Potter, National Treasure, Brave? Oh, hold on. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
No, Goldeneye, Ocean's. Okay, never mind. I guess. Shit, who am I thinking? Who's Sala from Gimli? You know, what is his name? Oh, John Rhys Davies. I got John Rhys Davies and Robbie Coltrane.
Is that what we're talking about?
They're both from 2001, Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. My brain. Oh, I guess he probably couldn't have been in two countries to film that on two opposite sides of the world. I can do math.
Well, maybe he could be a bloody legend and do it.
I don't know, just two big, like troll-looking dudes.
Right.
One actually big, one small big, because he's a dwarf.
Small big. Yeah.
You're a wizard, Hagrid.
We will eventually do the Lord of the Rings episodes because I want to do that. I want to force Brandon to watch them. Just kidding.
I like 2 and 3. 1 is just kind of boring. It's a lot of setup.
It is.
But it is a good film. It's just too much setup for me. I'm good to watch it once every like 5 years.
Okay.
The other two I could watch like pretty regularly.
I feel you.
The Hobbit series, just shut the fuck up.
Just shut up. Just
shut the
not
fuck
even
up.
Not even Lord of the Rings fans like the Hobbit series.
Take your garbage. Take your garbage and put it in the dumpster, please.
What about the Fantastic Beasts series?
It was fun.
Take your garbage and put it in the dumpster, please. It was okay, but why?
Yeah.
Toy Story 4, why?
Oh, we're getting deep now.
Why? Maybe we just start up a series called Why.
Why?
Why? Stereo surrounds. Why?
But yeah, in the whole book, the whole thing on the island is a lot longer because they kind of condense a lot of the Diagon Alley stuff into it too.
Diagonally.
Diagonally.
not even gonna try. I'm gonna say it wrong. So it's fine.
Nelly.
They condense a lot of the conversation. Like, he talks about Voldemort and everything. The first time's like, hello, Harry, you're a wizard. Here's this evil dude. You got all this stuff on you. You're a chosen one. You got that your parents are dead. They're great.
Okay,
And I was
gotta
like,
go
"All
get
right."
stuff.
And but like in the movie, they spread it out a little bit and they
That's a big-
paced
that's
it
a
kind of
big
nice.
scene,
Yeah.
Which like it's one of those. I guess that's one of the things too.
They also do
I-
talk a bit more in the book over like the boat ride and talking at the train station.
yeah.
They do kind of do stuff on their way to Diagon Alley.
Yeah, like the
So-
space where like in the movie they're just you wouldn't get that because it's just the next.
They have to
scene.
cut immediately.
I
Yes.
want to appreciate something about this book,
Okay.
especially growing up. Every time you got a chapter, you got a little tiny picture with it. Mm-hmm. I loved that. It just kind of gave you just a little, like a chef's kiss of like.
It's also
just
why I
imagine this.
That's why I love this particular series that I got. I got a whole, it's a box set. The whole side is Hagrid's, not Hagrid, just Hogwarts. Mm-hmm. And each one has a unique cover and like back art to it. And this one's, you know, their first time in Diagon Alley. Diagonally. And Hagrid's just this giant Santa Claus looking dude. It's
He's
just,
supposed to be like 12 to 15
Yeah.
feet tall, right?
well, he's half giant. So, yeah, it's just such a cool scene. And on the back, they have the Mirror of Erised with like
With
his
big Harry
parents.
Potter. Mm-hmm. And little Harry Potter.
Basically, well, he's supposed to look a lot like his parents. Like his parents in the movie look a bit too old.
Looks like his
Yeah.
dad.
Because his parents
His
were
mom's
only
eyes.
like 22 or something like that. They were pretty young when Harry was born. Because they were out of Hogwarts only for like a couple years.
This thing's crazy.
That thing. Oh, yeah. I never had saw this before these last couple weeks when we started looking through this. Oh, beautiful art book. It's the entire book, but there's just so many pictures and illustrations of all the different scenes. The snake. Hagrid looks terrifying in that scene.
Big Hagrid.
Big Hagrid.
Big Hagrid.
Oh, the Draco. That's not even in the movie.
Here we go. Diagonally.
Oh, yeah.
Diagonally.
Diagonally.
Diagonally. Such a cool.
It's actually like 2 pages of diagonally.
Perhaps?
Goes, oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Has all the shops.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The benefit of these being out after the whole entire series, they can add in a bunch of stuff with like movie references, and that looks so cool. Hogwarts Castle in the Mist.
Dude. Nailed it.
But yeah, no, the illustrated book is definitely something else. This is, and I think they picked a really good directional team of Chris Columbus with John Williams and everything to do the score
Yes.
and all that. It created this. This is a very
Magical.
whimsical, magical, and when playing like through the games and everything, they'd say the first couple years are like the magical, whimsical years. Because the movies and books are much lighter, happier tone, and it sets this world of mystery. It's insanely good world building between the first movie and the books to set up basically the foundation for what will become the entire rest of the series. It's really... And Diagon Alley is probably the perfect... Like that, we don't get Hogsmeade until later books, but those are great examples of what Universal's doing, creating these great areas and turning them into worlds you can visit because it feels so real. The set design and all that.
And just places you like want to
Really
be able to go.
just spent a lot on these movies to get as big of a crew that they did with as big of a budget. But no, it really came through. I mean, this is one of the biggest media franchises out there.
Yeah, this thing pumps in some cash.
But yeah, they get into Diagon Alley through the Leaky Cauldron. They meet my favorite side characters, Tom the bartender and Doris Crockford. People, I was just
Small side
laughing.
people.
Yeah, just random people. I was like, oh, this is funny. People, I think Doris Crockford comes back in later books, not in other movies. But I'm like, I saw that name and I was like, oh yeah, there's so many names and references in the book that come back in later books that they cut out of the first movie because you didn't really need it. It's all world building. They set up the individual things within their respective movies, but there is so much stuff. I mean, even Newt Scamander from Fantastic Beasts is in the first book. It's like, oh crap, he has to get a book from him for the magical creature class.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, that's when I was reading through it. I was like, I was like, what?
Yeah, you do a double take.
I
Like,
totally
"Excuse me,
forgot
what?"
because because when I originally read the book, it was so long ago. I just forgot that was even in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got So did you guys ever do the DVD menu special feature thing back in the day?
I
The
didn't
old
do for the
DVDs?
first one, but I did on Chamber Secrets.
I might have. I probably
So
did.
the DVD had the special menu where you had to like go over to like a key or something, and then it would bring up the wall from Diagon Alley, and you had to like enter in the code that Hagrid does
On the bricks?
on the bricks,
Yeah.
and it would like push you through to like the special features that were like in Diagon. It was just a really cool like interactive DVD menu, and every
Oh,
time
yeah.
I see that scene, they go doot 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 doot. I'm like, I had to watch that scene and like draw it out. I'm like, okay, it's that one, that one, that one, that one. That's how I get to the DVDs. I've been Google searching this because I was curious. I thought of that, and I'm like, am I crazy or did that actually happen? No, it is. Cheat Code Central has it on their website
Really?
from 2001.
It's awesome.
Or 2002, whenever the DVDs came out. I'm like, oh my goodness. That is an old thing.
It's crazy.
That's a name I haven't heard of in quite a while.
But yeah, the Chamber Secret ones, I remember doing, like going through that because that was cool because like to enter the chamber, you get like the door with the snakes on it. And that's like one of the things you have to go through to get to the next part. I'm like, you like actually
I
go
remember
through the chamber.
doing that one.
It's
like
so cool.
But I did that one a lot less just because by that time I was just like, the magic of it kind of wore off on me, sadly. So it was still just as cool. The first two DVDs had them
Right.
all set up because, the same director crew put all those together. So and that was right when DVDs were getting a lot more popular. So yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I'll admit. Harry got to pick his owl in the book. Yeah, because in the movie he just kind of like shows
That's
up
just
like,
a
hey,
gift, like,
I
"Here's
got your
Hedwig."
owl.
Here's your owl.
But it's like, oh, he did get to pick Hedwig because like rereading it. It's been a while since I've read the books, so I was like, oh yeah, that's cute. He did get to pick Hedwig because I love Hedwig. I love owls. So
Picked his owl, picked his wand.
the wand chooses the wizard, Harry.
The wand picked him. Got a lot of shopping done.
God, a lot of shopping. We missed half of it, and they cut out a whole scene with Draco where he
Yeah.
meets Draco for the first time.
Yeah, bumps into him at one of the stores. Which store was it?
It was the
bookstore or
to get
robe
fitted
store?
for the robes. Yeah.
Robes.
Oh, that's right.
Because he was like Malfoy was getting fitted when he was being seen, and they talked and kind of some of the similar stuff that they do on the stairwell in the movie.
Yeah, they
their
just kinda
first
combine
interaction.
some of that, yeah.
Yeah. And then after they do all of Gringotts and they pick up the weird little. I love the prop for the Sorcerer's Stone. I just love gems and stuff. So that prop for the stone and seeing it like it's like I remember there was like a giveaway or something at the theater or something where they had like a prop of the stone or something. That's what my young brain thought. And I just always remember like, damn, I could have had a Sorcerer's Stone if I did something right, but I was too young to know what I should have done right. If there was even a Sorcerer's Stone to give. Yeah.
I like to believe.
It's also something I just haven't done in a long time. Line up for movie theaters outside on the day that they're coming out. That's not really a thing anymore. Especially now. So
I feel like I've only done it like once or twice.
I used to do it all the time at the Harkins by my old like the old side of town because it was a big ass Harkins. They had these giant ass like areas like this movie would have all these lines up here. This movie would have all these here. I don't do that anymore. It's so weird to think. Sorry. Existential crisis in the middle of Harry Potter.
Things have changed.
But no. Do you guys... I want to talk about it now because we're going to get it in the next couple chapters. Did you ever do the old Pottermore quiz? Where it told you like what house you had, what wand you had, like your Patronus and all that stuff? Because I was never able to do that. So I don't know any of that like exact stuff because Warner Brothers has ultimately destroyed their whole online stuff and it is trash now. Like they redid it in the past like 2 years and the internet just hates it. And I agree. I tried going through it. It's not good anymore. But do you remember any of that stuff you got from your Pottermore quiz?
Yes.
No, I think the only thing I remember is I got Gryffindor. That's the only thing I remember.
I'm a Gryffindor as well.
But yeah, I don't
You
recall anything
look
else.
like a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
I can call them pretty well.
Yeah.
I can call them pretty well.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
I could have. I had Anthony pegged as either Gryffindor or a Ravenclaw.
My wife is a Ravenclaw.
I could see you going either way.
I thought more Ravenclaw now. So then because I almost wonder if I like kind of tweak it because I wanted a Gryffindor when I was a kid.
I want a Gryffindor. Everyone wants... So the movies do Slytherin wrong, and the books do Slytherin. J.K. Rowling does Slytherin wrong.
Yeah.
At least for these 5 years. They really put all the villains there. And it's like...
That's the point, though.
I know, right? But it's the whole thing with the fandom. I told you about the craziness of this fandom. That did make me. It was a couple years here where I just didn't want anything to do with Harry Potter because of some of the fandom just like turning me away from it. And the Fantastic Beasts were coming out, and nobody liked them at the time. So I was like, yeah, why would I go back to it? And then after a little bit of time, I'm like, yeah, I just do want to watch these movies again. I'm like, oh, I really did freaking enjoy these. I can't let the fandom get to me on it. But yeah. And then like I really wish I could have taken that Pottermore quest so I could know like what the wand is like. Oh, you had an 11-inch oak with like a unicorn hair. Or it had like all that type of stuff.
Mine was like maple with unicorn hair or some shit. Like
It
I
just
want
seems
mine to have
like
a phoenix feather.
well, because the old Pottermore quiz was really in depth. Like it was a long
Yeah, it
quiz.
was a
You had to like sign
lot
in
of
for
questions,
it.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like it was really kind of cool because you got like all that. It felt more personalized. Like it was more of like a Myers-Briggs type test.
Yeah.
Where you get all that and you learn your Patronus. Do you remember your Patronus at all, or what animal it was? Because I believe that's what they told you. Your house, your wand, and your Patronus.
I want to say it was like a dog, honestly.
I can see it being a dog.
Yeah.
But that was something I wish I could have done because I did the recent Pottermore quiz and it was 4 questions and they all had
Really?
4 answers. And I'm like, there's Gryffindor, there's
Right.
Ravenclaw, there's Hufflepuff, there's Slytherin. I'm like, this isn't a quiz. This is you
Yes.
pick what you want.
Yeah, it's too obvious.
It's way
now.
too obvious. You have to like
It was
Myers-Briggs.
Yeah, exactly. They gave you like scenarios, and then out of the scenario,
and the worst
you
part is I still had to
choose.
sign up for all that WB shit to take a 4-question quiz.
Oh.
It was so bad. So that's why I'm like, I wish I could have taken the old Pottermore quiz.
Bullshit. I'm sure you could find a Reddit thread.
I probably could. I just hadn't. I was on my phone. I did it all on my phone in Zia in like 3 minutes. That's how small of a quiz it was. I was like, because we were at Zia, had a bunch of Harry Potter merch.
I've
so.
had fucking fast food surveys longer than that.
I've talked about my hamburger longer than that quiz. I mean, if you're Draco, it's Slytherin. Doesn't even touch his head.
Classic.
But yeah, I'm skipping back a little bit after all of the Gringotts Diagonale fiasco. It cuts a month later. In the movie, it just seems like it happens right there. But no, there's still a whole month before school starts.
Yeah, that was jarring when I was reading. I'm like,
Harry's
Oh, they're
birthday.
not just at the train station?
No, yeah. Harry's birthday is at the end of July, and school doesn't start until September.
Right, I was like, oh my God, it's
Yeah.
time.
Which makes sense, because that was something I always questioned. Like, if... Well, do you get your letter on your 11th birthday? Is that what it was? I think it is.
I thought so.
Well, because he got it before his 11th birthday.
That's true.
So they might just be sending out letters a couple weeks before school starts, and his birthday just happens to line up, possibly. Brandon
Yeah, I
wants to
guess.
chill, but he also wants to be able to record into the mic. So,
Yes.
but I always wondered how Hermione knew so much about the Wizarding world. She had a month to just read the shit out of
She
everything.
just read it like 3,000 words.
Because I'm like, she's a Muggle-born. She had to know nothing really about the Wizarding world until that couple months, but when they sent out the letters.
But she should have been more like Harry and just been like,
That was something that I felt like, yeah, she's a brilliant wizard, but they really never, brilliant witch, wizard, whatever, they never really touch on her, like, Muggle past, barely, really. Except for, like, my parents are dentists. What the hell is that? That's in the movies, you know? But
Yeah.
and I was like way into them too.
They kind of like touch on it again way later, and
it's just
What film
nitpicky.
was
It's
that,
like,
like
ooh, I wish I
7?
could have gotten more of her, like, a Muggle's take on the world being in the world.
yeah.
Like, you don't really get too many of those, like, characters from the story. That would be just a cool perspective, little side story, I feel. But they, she serves her purpose. I really like the main cast of characters. Almost all the characters. Especially in the first book, I don't like the ghosts. I'm glad they cut most of the ghosts from the movie. Peeves, I hate that mother.
They're just kind of annoying.
Yeah. But no. Oh yeah. Vernon drops him off at platform 9 3/4 because they're in London because they have to remove Dudley's tail. I love that. They have to get his tail surgically removed.
Deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
Really does.
Oh, Yes, Nicholas Flamel's on Dumbledore's card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they in the books they learn about Nicholas Flamel on the card, not Hermione reading it.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and it takes
For the
like Harry a
chocolate
bit to
frog.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's where I saw it.
Okay. While we're here,
Mm-hmm.
favorite Harry Potter candy, go.
Oh, take the lot. I'd have to probably say ones I've tried in real life. I know I've had chocolate frogs. I've had Bertie Bott's every flavored beans. Gosh, let me pull up the list here before I make my definitive. Out of those two, every flavored beans because it's random. You can get good ones, you can get bad ones.
Yeah, it's more fun.
I like that one, but let me pull up Harry Potter candy.
I can't think of all the ones.
My favorite thing is called a fizzing Whizbee.
Yeah, you were talking about this earlier. I've never had these before.
It is basically just chocolate with Pop Rocks in it. But it's kind of nice because
It's called the Sweet Trolley.
yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know those chocolate
Ow, these are
fruity
expensive
chocolates?
pounds.
It's like a fruity chocolate, but then it pops in your mouth. It's nice.
It's like a Pop Rocks type thing.
Yes, but it like melts in your mouth with chocolate.
It's like you got like a fizzy
It's
chocolate.
nice.
They got bottled
Fizzy
butterbeer, chocolate frogs, fudge flies.
Bottle butterbeer?
Bottled butterbeer.
Yum.
Honeydukes, honeycombs, chocolate honeycombs, butter toffee, and then Bertie Bott's every flavor beans. Peppermint toads, that sounds delightful. Exploding bonbons.
Dude.
Fizzing Whizbees. There you go. Fizzing
Exploding
Whizbees. There they are.
bonbons.
Hey.
Those would be mine.
Exploding bonbons.
It sounds cool and sounds good.
Sounds cool and it sounds good. Can't really ask for too much more than that, now can you?
No. Oh yeah. The first film. So Emma Watson does not have like curly hair. And throughout the first film,
yeah.
certain parts you can kind of tell when they kind of gave up on trying to curlify her hair, because sometimes you can see the curling iron marks and there's like all curly, and then some of it just like a one single curl.
Yeah, it's like super frizzy.
It just kind of I just laughed because that first scene you see her in that she's got like they tried to curl it, because I think they did a lot of the train scenes first. For a fact, I know that the last scene of the film was the first scene they shot because she's wearing a buck tooth prosthetic. Because in the book she has
Oh,
buck
that's right.
teeth, but it was so hard for her to say her lines with the stupid prosthetic. They just took it out. They're like, yeah, who cares?
I feel like every time, like I know that's the thing, and I always miss it in the movie.
Yep.
Always.
Whoa.
So excited.
All right.
The exploding bonbon. I just like was looking at pictures of it. It looks so good.
What is it?
It's white chocolate with Pop Rocks in it. But it's like, well, this person said 1 star, not worth the price.
Bastard.
God.
But then
Savage.
another person said 5 stars, great for the experience. Another 1 star, chalky and flavorless. Another 5 star, mom of 1? What?
What?
Well, you're rating chocolate. What does that have to do with it? These candies sucked. Don't waste your money. Then the next one, 5 stars from Deborah. Yummers. Packaging is adorable. The taste is bomb.com.
Please tell me you didn't just add that and that really says that.
That really says that.
Thank you. I don't. I like that. I like that one.
I don't even know where to go from that. That
I
derailed
know.
me so
I
much.
know it
I
did.
was on the train and I got derailed so hard. I guess we're at Hogwarts now. They get there and they get to the boat ride, because the first
Well, we
years
don't wanna
have to
talk
take
about
the
them
boat
getting
across
onto,
the
like,
lake.
Onto the train, like anything at the train station or no?
What's up with the train?
'Cause
Oh
the-
yes, platform 9 3/4. The running into how fucking lucky. You think how many goddamn wizards there would be running around platform 9?
Yeah, like how
and
they
10?
only see the Weasleys.
Yeah, if all of them have to get on unless they're that late, which I
Well,
guess maybe have been the point, because they are like
Yeah.
that the Weasleys are, because they have so many kids that they're all trying to get there late.
This doesn't make sense because Hagrid said train leaves in 10 minutes, so that makes sense why there's no one else, because they're already on the train.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, but I still think there's probably other couple
be
families who
one
might
other.
have slept in.
Yeah,
But
can't
no.
just be the Weasleys.
It's crazy that you see the entire Weasley family, and they had all the actors, and even Ginny, who's barely in the first film, is there, and it's the same
Right.
actress and everything. It's like, oh, that's pretty cool. They did like block it all for the filming of all that. So
I'm Fred.
No, I'm.
You're George.
No, you're George.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, Mother. I'm only joking. I really am Fred. Or George. I forgot which. God
Was
damn it.
Geez,
The
like
twins.
when you call yourself a mother. they're so little fucks.
So good. I love the twins.
Have you read about any of the stories? Because those guys behaved like Fred and George on set all the time.
I saw that there was like the one interview.
They were pranksters.
They're like, I think
they
were
had so much fun switching and
Right,
doing shit
messing
like
people.
that.
They were
Yeah.
just like the most like trolliest twins ever.
I love that for them though.
Yeah, it's because in the book it describes them as kind of short and Ron is long and like tall. Well,
Yeah, that was.
but it's
interesting.
the actors really fit into the role in the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Rupert Grint totally is like Ron is such a out of the main three, Ron, Harry, and Hermione, and the first movie specifically. Harry seems to be kind of more of like a passerby in the first film. Like he's just kind of there. He sees stuff.
Yeah.
He's obviously his first time in the Wizarding world, and he's like okay. Like I noticed that like in the first one, he's a lot more subdued. Like Daniel Radcliffe didn't like do as much, but also he doesn't have so much to work with in the first book. So it's kind of a back and forth on that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more going on. Except, I feel like he's more forgettable in the first one, and then from the second one on, it's more like where he kind of fell into like a groove.
Meanwhile, Emma
He starts
Watson
to take control too.
Meanwhile, Emma Watson overacts the fuck out of her character in the first film. But that's out of all three of them, that's the person who would be acting like that. So
That's true.
nearly headless. How can you be nearly headless? It's like pleasure. It's just some of the lines. It's like, oh,
What an idiot!
you're 11.
You're too. You can't be this pompous yet. There's so much more time.
Oh, just- I guess the two most iconic Chris Columbus films I've seen have him working with kids: Home Alone and Harry Potter. Now I think about it, just randomly.
Huh?
Interesting connection. But yeah. So there's a whole fight on the train too, because the whole thing with Malfoy is kind of split between the interaction at the Diagon Alley and then they like talk on the train.
Yeah.
Kind of like he tries like, you want to join Slytherin? And I was like, fuck you.
We're
No.
gonna be enemies from this moment on.
No, I don't.
No.
They told me that's where the bad guys are. That's where all of the villains are.
Oh, wicked. Ron,
Wicked.
Just freaking saying that every 2
Wicked.
seconds. Oh, I put this here. I want to search what castle grounds it was filmed at. Because the exterior shots of the castle, not like the CGI sets and everything, like the actual exterior shots. Castle in Harry Potter real. That will work.
Real.
Alnwick, Alnwick, Alnwick Castle. It is for the first two films is where they filmed all the exterior shots. So for the Chris Columbus films. Interesting. Okay, yeah, it's just that's just straight up this out exterior shots of the. That's pretty cool. Because some of the stuff you can kind of tell, like if they're in a set, especially the very last shot of the film, you can very tell is in a soundstage. Because Hagrid's walking and you can kind of like see the wall. It's not like a paint on there. It's like, oh, okay. I can tell that's a soundstage. Yeah.
Tell me it's a soundstage without telling me it's a soundstage.
Paint the wall and then have it go up to the distance. Optical illusion. But yeah. The worthlessness of house points throughout the series. Even the book stops caring about them really fast. That was something. Playing the Game Boy Advance game that stressed me out so much. Do you play the one where you had to like win by like getting the house points? Like every time you like die, you'd lose house points.
Ooh, I don't think I did. No.
It was the first and second one I think on Game Boy Advance were like RPGs, where you'd like I remember being in like the dungeons fighting rats for like 60 years because I didn't know how to play RPGs because I was too young. And like other than Pokemon, because Pokemon like fire beats water, my brain understood that.
Right. Yeah,
But man, the house points really only play a role in like this film. I don't even think they may talk about them in 2 for a little bit.
They drop them so fast.
Yeah, especially with the house cup at the end. It's just like, hey, that's it. There's more important stuff in the series.
Well, that and I mean with how lenient they fucking.
Oh
were.
yeah,
Hey, you took a shit on the toilet. Here's some fucking house points. Like,
right. You fucked up royally. Oh, but you lose 5 points. But then also you gain 10 points because what you did was kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. You lose 15 points. You gain 50.
You did a
Punished.
kickflip. You get 60 points.
That's yeah. So
You're taking notes in my class minus 50 points. Fuck you.
So do the books continue to follow the house points?
No, I'm pretty sure they drop them fast too. I think they may have talked them a little bit, but the only like winning, I'm pretty sure, is the first book. I think because they say Hufflepuff won this year, like 4 or 5. They like casually mention like one sentence. It's like
there's like no incentive to win it though. Like
no, you get the cup. What is the point of that? Do you get it in your house all next year, or what does that happen?
Yeah.
Right.
I actually, the books might explain it. I just don't remember. But don't you dare Google the point of the house cup, because you'll probably the number one answer will be what is the point of the house cup? Probably.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. I guess we're making a second butterbeer. On that note, I'm just going to continue along, and you're just going to miss chapter 8. Oh, I didn't write the name for chapter 8. I wrote most of the names for these. But I don't remember the one
I
after.
should remember, but I don't.
The Potions Master. Oh, he's grabbing Snickers.
Thank you.
Chapter 8 is the Potions Master. That's what it is. Which we're introduced to Snape, Alan Rickman. Such an iconic role.
The only person that can ever do Snape.
Alan Rickman.
Another person who's actually a little bit older than he was supposed to be. I think Snape is supposed to only be like 30 at most. Or no, he was the same age as Harry's parents. So he'd be like 33-ish, give or take, depending on how old Harry's parents were. But Alan Rickman was like 50 at the time. But he pulled it off. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the character portrayals from the series was Snape. Alan Rickman as Snape.
Hard to beat him. just he's like the only one I feel like off the top of my head I'd be like, there's no one else I could have done that.
But yeah. He freaking, as I said, docks Harry that he's essentially a Muggle-born. He knows nothing about magic, and he's just writing notes on what he's saying. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing in my class? Pay attention."
It's like, oh, really? The only person that's actually paying attention?
Don't you?
What's happening?
I saw that last week. I'm mad you brought that up.
Now you have to put it in. Ha 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 ha.
That's an evil power that you have right now, sir. I won't do that to you.
Oh, I forgot about at the end of chapter 7 in the book, after the sorting, basically his first night in the Gryffindor common room, after he gets sorted into Gryffindor, he has a dream of the rest of the book. Like at the end of chapter 7, it's like, oh yeah, there's a dude with a thing on his head, and it just like he springs out the whole rest of the book.
So he's like predicting the future.
All right, which Professor Quirrell's turban keeps talking to him, and he didn't want to be in Slytherin. It's just all like,
that foresight, crazy.
But yeah. that was just extra cut content from the book. It's nothing too crazy. I took notes on all the cut stuff. I'm like, I might talk about all this, I might not. That's just an extra scene. They cut that for like no specific reason other than just it was just too much. Snape is so mean. Oh yeah, they never get the answers for his questions.
Oh yeah,
That was a deleted scene actually. I'm pretty sure because he like starts talking about you should be writing this down. He's like because he goes over all the answers.
Mm-hmm. Was it for the last one? Wasn't it like the difference is that nothing? It was just two different names for the same thing.
Yeah, two different names for the same thing. Yep. Is that in the original cut or is that a deleted scene? I can't remember. I've watched this so many times. It's just
that
a
I
part
remember
of my
from the book, so it must be a deleted scene.
But yeah. Oh, Seamus never really exploded stuff in the book series. It was something the movies added in.
Yeah, that's right. Like
but
character
there was a
building.
running joke character building that they managed to tie through in the whole series that I really do like.
It works out. I like it.
But yeah, they just take a side character, which if you think about it, these kids all freaking grew up. Like all the main cast, like they were all like grew up together throughout all of this. All like some just random thoughts, just talking.
Right. Hopefully they all liked each other.
Yeah, seriously, that would have been weird. Oh yeah, chapter 9, Midnight Duel. That's a lot of that doesn't happen in the movie because
like,
the middle of the book at Hogwarts, they kind of shuffle stuff around in the movie, and it makes complete sense. All the stuff they cut and shuffled, I agree with. Like Neville was with them when they met Fluffy for the first time because like Malfoy tried to bet them on to like go on a fight, but then he sent Filch there, and that's why the cats are all there. But in the movies, they're just like, well, we're walking up the stairs, and the stairs are moving now. We're going to the next scene.
Right. The plot demands we go here.
So Neville is a lot in the book, a lot more than he is in the movie.
Yeah, that makes that like last scene with them like more meaningful.
Also makes Neville's character too a lot more. I like Neville, so
they make him like the fourth main character, like the fourth guy in the crew.
Well, yeah, because he even went with them into the Dark Forest.
Yeah,
he went with them in Dark Forest too. So yeah.
Yeah,
but
he went with them in the Dark Forest too.
Yeah, he went with them in the Dark Forest too.
What's happening? Next.
He went into.
I'm gonna. I'm not gonna throw that at you because then you have it.
I have the power, ultimate power.
All right.
Oh, I wrote Harry is a basketball emoji. Harry is a baller.
Harry is a basketball
emoji.
Oh yeah, I did that because I think I searched like baller and that came up and I made me laugh and I hit like the basketball emoji. Just because like he picks up Quidditch so naturally, it's just like that he gets popular that fast. My Snickers. I was like, do you steal my Snickers?
No,
bastard. I'm talking over here.
Who's Snickers?
Oh yeah, in the books, they're like, oh yeah, we'll play with golf balls so we don't lose the snitch, so I don't open it. And it's like, yeah, in the movie they open it, and it just goes away. And it's like that's the end of the scene. Who's gonna go get that? Harry, practice, go. I've heard of games that go on for months. Go, have fun.
Yep.
Some they talk about in the book. It's like, oh yeah, some Quidditch games go on for months. It's like, what?
Well, it's not always 5 minutes.
It's not always a perfect 5-minute scene or a chapter of a book.
Or like what the second match, it was like pretty much a minute. It felt like it was like and done.
There isn't even a second match in the movie.
Kind of sad there isn't. I wanted to see more. I like watching Quidditch is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something that I had on chapter 11, the next chapter, Quidditch. It's that you are stealing all my stuff today. You
literally have a drink right there.
Who's the one acting like a Slytherin over here?
I know, right?
But I said John Williams' score has the power to turn any early CGI thing into really cool. Pod racing, Quidditch, all of those it's like just so iconic of a scene with scored by John Williams with good director. So good. I love both of them equally.
When the score and the character setup and just like the world building is good enough, it becomes so immersive that you can forgive the shitty CG.
Oh, there are some shitty CG. There's also some pretty good CG scenes.
Yeah.
Wood falling the first shot, then the second shot happens is not as good. Neville, we talked about earlier, his Quidditch scene, that's terrible. That's some of the worst CGI in the film.
Learning how to use a broom.
Which doesn't even happen in the book, which makes me like, why did they add that in? He just falls over in the book. He flies up and...
They could have saved money and then also would have held up better because they wouldn't have like anyone ever talk about, that's not good there.
It's just unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is one thing that the movie does have a couple of those scenes where like, okay... Whimsy humor.
I wish you cut
Let's
this
go.
because this didn't even happen. Just added something in that did happen in the book.
But one thing that didn't happen in the book that they added that I love is Wood's speech. Right before the first game. Oh yeah, I don't remember my first game. I took a bludge to the head 3 minutes in. I was out for 2 weeks. That was something added in. It's not in the book. It's like that conversation is so Oliver Wood though. I love it.
It was good. It was the perfect thing, just like
oh yeah, your first game, you're a little nervous? I don't remember my first game. I got knocked out for 2 weeks. All right, here we go. Right. It's like, wait, excuse me, what?
Like all this being said to an 11-year-old.
I know, right? It's the best. But yeah, they only have the one Quidditch game where they think Snape bewitches Harry's room.
Oh yeah, trying to make it.
But
fall
yeah,
off.
you can see in the shot if you like go slowly, you can see Quirrell standing there like saying it, and then Snape behind him saying it too. It's just he's like out of frame a little bit. It's like, oh, that's cool.
The Countercurse.
The Countercurse, and that's all why in the book, Snape referees the second match that they do. So Quirrell,
stop him interfering.
Yep, he won't let Quirrell get to it. Oh no.
Which I think was interesting because I think too that.
You think to what?
Fuck! This made me actually forget what I was gonna say. Oh, because the idea that in the Quidditch match in, I can't do both at the same time. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. That's fine. Finish your thought.
Because Dumbledore was there watching the match, and I think like part of the dialogue for the second match when Snape was refereeing, I think it was mentioned that it wouldn't have mattered even if Snape wasn't there because Dumbledore was there, so like he wouldn't try anything while. But am I remember that correctly? Did that scene happen? Or not scene, but
Well, are you talking about the first game or the second game? Because there's a second game that happens.
Well, the second game that happens in the book.
Yeah.
And I remember it being mentioned that Snape is refereeing.
Snape referees so that there's no chance of him like interfering or
Right,
whatever
yeah.
because they think that
And I think
he's
it's
the one
mentioned-
that interfered, but he really wasn't the one that interfered.
Well,
He
no,
was-
but then that's what I mean. Like it has that, but then also isn't that mentioned that like the Dumbledore was there, so that wouldn't even be necessary.
Well, we don't know this, but Snape's a good guy this whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
So like Snape mistrust Quirrell ever since. Gosh, yeah, I forgot what thing does it. I think it was that does it in the book that makes him suspicious. Because no, it's the second game. He flies off to go fight Quirrell because in the once Harry gets the cloak of invisibility in the movie, he sees Quirrell and Snape talking in a hallway. In the books, it's during that second Quidditch match. They like something happens and he flies off and finds them talking in the woods or something and hears that conversation then. So they kind of just shuffle around events. They do that a lot in the middle of the book here just to kind of make the flow a little bit better, cut out some of the trim and make it work.
To fat.
Yeah, and it works great. I mean, it goes from there to Christmas time, chapter 12, The Mirror of Erised, which Wizard's
cool
Chess seems expensive if you have to buy new ones every single time.
Did we talk? Wait, we're on Christmas?
Yeah.
Did we talk Halloween and I missed
We
it?
did. We missed Halloween.
We missed Halloween?
We missed
Oh, yeah.
Halloween.
with Quirrell
I'm sorry.
in the dungeon.
We went from Baller because Halloween starts with Quidditch practice, and then the next chapter is Quidditch. So that's how we skipped it over because the second half of Halloween is Halloween. But yeah, Troll in the Dungeon. I say that quote so many damn times on my daily. Thought you ought to know. That's the troll. Not the worst CGI. There's a couple odd shots where he's got Harry on his head. That's a little weird.
Yeah.
But Troll Bogey still grosses me out every time. There's something about the slime that they use, the real, like, that actors had. It was like, bleh.
And then
I just
freaking
hate that.
Harry like savage wiping on his robe.
I know, it's
what
like,
are you doing?
Well, on your robe? you that walks around with you. Get a magic
Right.
paper towel or
Like you're
your
a
whooshy
wizard,
poop away
Harry.
or
Just
something.
like just ask Hermione, can you clean this, please?
You're a wizard, Harry. No, it's Harry. You're a wizard.
Right? What a weird thing. That's not.
I know.
Hermione. Okay.
So stop.
I'm sorry. It was
steal my
there.
Snickers.
I didn't. I almost act
He about just took my Snickers.
just because it was there, and I'm like, oh, I still want it. I
Just
still want
because
it.
it was there. Sure.
But yeah,
I
that's
actually forgot it wasn't mine.
well in the book. That's the point where they actually like, oh, Hermione. Depending on how many syllables I want to put in, I just kind of cut one out occasionally. Actually
Hermione.
becomes their friend because it was the whole Wingardium Leviosa thing.
Ugh.
That, Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa.
Aw.
I was trying to say, is he pronouncing the wrong part that she's trying to get him to repronounce? I was trying to like figure that out because I think he was saying Wingardium.
Yeah.
She's saying Wingardium. Like, I don't know. They're all made up words, so it's hard to like
Right.
get an actual pronunciation of it.
Yeah.
Makes my brain hurt just thinking about it.
I definitely think it was more of the first word. I think the second word he just enunciated it a little differently, but he still said the same word.
Truth. But the Mirror of Erised has, as I was saying, Wizard Chess. Do you think that stuff like magics itself at the end of it? Because they all like destroy themselves.
I guess so.
Yeah, I mean, it would
I
have
think
to.
it would. We
have
see
to.
Dumbledore doing that type of stuff in 6, so rebuilding things.
It's just stone. It should be able to piece itself back
I was
together.
to say, I'm like, that would be terrible if you had to make a new wizard's chest every time.
I guess maybe you can do a spell where it's like somewhat like with time. They're kind of like how in Dark Souls how it works.
You save it, you let it play, and then you quick load it.
Yeah, just reloads it. No,
I don't know if I can do it.
You can't do it.
I don't know if I can do it.
Why?
The delivery fees are the same amount as the actual item that I want.
Oh shit! Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do it.
You're trying to place a delivery order in the middle of a podcast
for cookies. Fuck you.
Cook from where?
Crumble.
Oh, are you really?
Oh my God.
They're open this late?
Yeah, they're open till midnight.
Really?
Yeah, and they deliver.
This is what multiple butterbeers will do to you.
But it's a $7 delivery fee, $2 in taxes, a $2 tip, and the cookies are already $13. So I mean, that's
Fuck.
It's
You pay like $40 for the cookies.
It's
Welcome to
$24 for 4 cookies. But if you were to actually just go there, it's like you just
but
13 out the door.
Welcome to delivery fees in 2021. That's you pay for it to be delivered, or you go deal with it. You sober up and you go deal with it.
I've only had the one butterbeer.
That's true.
True.
I could sober. Realistically, I could sober up and go get them before they close.
We're on chapter 13, so that means we only have 4 left to go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking cookies. Jesus, where's my head at?
You're like, wait, we're talking about a movie?
Talking about a movie? I want cookies, man.
I do.
Well,
my plan was perfect. It was cookies get here right as we finish, and then I have cookies.
yeah, but you don't want to pay the $24 delivery
Just a
fee
cheap
for
ass.
cookies. I don't blame you. I wouldn't either. It's expensive. Every time I do an order, it's just like I regret it because I'm like, oh, there goes money I could have spent. Yeah, chapter 13 is Nicholas Flamel, which is they kind of gloss over. This is where the second Quidditch game happens. This is where you just kind of a lot of world building, and it sets up the next chapter, which is Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. Wow, second time's a charm.
That's a hard sentence.
Got it there. Which is a very different chapter than it is in the movie, because in the movie it all takes place in like one night. But in the book, it takes place over a couple weeks because he doesn't even call him Norbert as soon as they first get him. He's like, oh yeah, it's just a little dragon I got. And they keep it a secret because Draco sees them that night, and they're like, oh crap, is he ever going to tell? We don't know.
Yeah.
And they actually give Norbert away to Ron's brother. He comes in and flies, and they like all pass him off, and that's what they get caught for and get sent
Charlie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother Charlie in Romania. Yeah.
They came up.
We
It
call
was
him
like,
up
it's like
to-
the top of the tower or one of the towers?
Yeah. So you actually see Norbert go away to Charlie and everything. But I feel the way they handled it in the movie, they trimmed out all that fat. That's all cool world building, but they condensed it all into one night. Sadly got rid of Neville, but
Yeah.
I mean, they barely used even Draco in that scene. They just had him with Fang, and then it's like, because Hagrid gets this dragon that it's also the timeline for things because Quirrell gives him the dragon and learns Fluffy's like
I forget it was
weakness.
Scroll that gives him the
Yeah.
dragon.
Yeah.
Because Quirrell gives him the dragon, learns Fluffy's weakness, and then I'm assuming he has to like. Does he wait for Dumbledore to leave to try? Because I feel like why wouldn't he go after the stone immediately?
I thought that he did because
Yeah.
I thought that Dumbledore left for a little bit.
Because he like got this like urgent message.
Yeah, because
to like get him to leave.
Well, yeah, it's the timeline for these last like couple chapters gets kind of woogity.
Yeah.
It's hard to follow because
it all happens kind of.
it all happens fast and it happens differently between the book and movie. So it's like what
Yeah.
timeline do you follow? Because in the movie they all get caught in one night and then they go out to detention the next night and then like there's an undisclosed amount of time until like you see them like
Jumps
talk
around
about
a lot
finals. Hey guys, Nick from the future here. Unfortunately, our audio got messed up, so for the rest of the episode, we had to use the camera audio. Sorry for the inconvenience, and hope you enjoy the rest of the episode. Which they talk about in the book, how Harry had like struggled with finals, and if one scene in the movie, oh man, those tests.
Harry's like
were
an
at
F
school.
student.
Yeah,
Harry's
it's
just
so
garbage at
Harry's.
school.
And he's trying to be. That's one of the reasons why I hate 5. It talks so much about schoolwork. Because Harry's like, I want to be an author. Your grades are Fs. Okay.
You're dumb as a rock.
Your C's get degrees, they don't get you jobs, buddy.
C's get
Don't
degrees.
steal my.
You threw it at me.
I set it aside. I'm the one doing talking. You want me to eat Snickers? You want your cookies?
Snap
Do you want
into
the
your
cookies
Snickers.
in a timely manner? Exactly.
Well, actually, I don't need cookies.
You don't need cookies. So, which one of them got bit by the dragon again? Was it Ron or was it Harry?
I forgot that one of them got bit by the dragon. They didn't even go into the Forbidden Forest, right? I want to say.
I think it was Ron
I
that
think it
got
was
bit
Ron.
by the dragon, and then Neville went into the Forbidden Forest with them instead of Ron.
Because
Yeah, okay.
Ron didn't get caught because he didn't go with
Oh,
his
'cause
brother because he
yeah.
was in the infirmary.
Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
Yeah, all right, I remember it now.
Yeah, 'cause it was Hermione.
My line in my notes.
Right.
Neville was also there.
Yep. That is why Neville was also there.
Yeah,
he
then-
got caught out after bed with them.
Every time I watch this movie, I have to say this. All right, you kids have been caught for staying out late. You're detention. You're going out late into an even more dangerous area unsupervised. Have fun.
Hey, it's kind of like the whole you get caught smoking a cigarette, you gotta smoke a whole pack.
Oh,
You
Same
get caught
teacher
out
was-
after bed, we put you into the forest at nighttime.
Teach you like you really want to go outside at night.
I guess that is a
that way. It's pretty fun.
especially after what happens to them that goddamn night. Oh yeah, just send them out to the forest, just where Voldemort is. It's cool.
Where Voldemort is, where
Feasting on a unicorn.
Yeah,
a bunch
feasting
of
on
unicorn, a
unicorns.
bunch of
R.I.P.
centaurs.
Unicorn Boy.
The unicorn blood CGI is such a bad texture. Just like it looks
Yeah.
so CGI.
It
Which
just
is
makes me.
totally
I just
The
see that. I
whole
just think it's like
centaur
Terminator.
guy is-
the whole centaur is bad.
He looks like a fucking
Firenze.
no.
Well, that's his
One of
name.
those things from Avatar.
Oh,
Oh, the Avatar
Blue
people.
people.
Navi.
like the
Navi. He looks like a Navi. The centaur guy from Harry Potter one.
Yeah,
I
I
get
can
that,
see
yeah.
it.
He's kind of blue like a Navi.
Well, it's also that shot is super color corrected. It's like they are in a
Yeah.
forest at night. They're not in some backstage with lights on them right now.
definitely. That'd be weird.
I love the set designs for it, but there are a couple where I'm like, now that I've seen enough film movies, I'm like, oh, I can tell that's a set.
Well, like especially like I think the first one I noticed was like the bathroom scene with the troll. Like even the troll there, like on its stomach, like you can see like that's a whole thing they built, which I appreciate because that's a lot of project, a lot of time,
A lot of paper mache,
right?
basically. Oh yeah, he got his invisibility cloak. He didn't get it stolen from him, but he. Hello, I'm a Navi. I'm just riding the mighty car.
I think it is more or less the color correction because like, I don't know. He looks like a caveman Navi.
He looks like the caveman from Geico type.
Yeah,
thing.
if they had a baby.
The Navi and a caveman from Geico had a baby.
Yes.
Lovely. That's 2001 CGI for you. It sometimes oh, it sometimes works. But yeah. Then after this Forbidden Forest, Harry gets the epiphany. He's like, oh yeah, if somebody gave him the thing, they probably know how to get past Fluffy. That's one thing. I don't remember. I don't think he says, oh, I should not have said that. Just the way that it does in the movie. I just love the portrayal of Hagrid. He's one of my favorite characters throughout the series.
Shouldn't have told you that.
Hagrid's a great character.
Immediately says something else. Shouldn't have told you that. He's such a good dude.
But yeah, they talk about they talk about their anti-cheating quills that they do for their finals.
Mhm.
Like
Convenient.
that's funny.
I guess like that's the one place you actually have to have something anti-cheat.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have Neville sacrificed Faux Greater because he was with him throughout all the
Yeah,
books.
actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the book he was a lot more. It's like instead of just fighting him, it's like okay, yeah, he did like. He was with him for 3 other things, and this is the time when he put his foot down. He's like, no, I'm not going with you guys again. Every time it ends up bad. After the Forbidden Forest, which, I mean, seeing Voldemort would kind of make anybody go, whoa, what the fuck?
Right, so we should just never do anything ever.
Even though they didn't know it him, it was just some creepy little ghost wraith thingy.
Yeah, even with that, without the idea of it being him, that would be horrifying.
But
In
yeah.
the magic world.
Stupefy? I don't know. What is the name of it? It's something petrify totalis or something like that. Where's that spell the rest of the series?
Oh, right. It was so useful.
If it is, unless it has to be like the person must not want to actually want will to fight or something, that's... Some spells are overpowered.
Right.
Please nerf. Yeah.
You say stupefied, just like what, like blows him back.
Yeah, that's just kind of like blows. That's in a lot of the later films.
Yeah.
The bullet, stupefy, Expelliarmus is the other big one.
And they start dueling and shit.
Mm-hmm. But so they go and Hagrid gave Harry a flute not for his birthday, for Christmas. I want to say.
I think so.
For Christmas in the books. And in the movie, there's like a harp there putting Fluffy to sleep. But in the books, Harry straight up plays a sick flute solo and puts Fluffy to sleep.
Learns how to rip a flute.
And I was like, that's kind of funny. I can see why they cut that in the film. That'll be awkward. Daniel Radcliffe.
It's so much funnier though. Fuck. I want that. That's the ability to see that we deserve.
I want to be in the room with the producers when they were like, there was like one guy who wanted to keep it and he's making a case for it. He's like, but it's part of the character. He's a musician.
It comes back in the later books, dude. I swear.
Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Flute.
No.
Harry Potter and this sick jazz flute solo is 13 minutes into a prog rock album. I don't know. But no, so they get past Fluffy. He doesn't wake up in the book. It's much better seen in the movie, but yeah. And then Devil's Snare is also very different in the book too, because like Hermione lights it on fire. She fuegos the shit out of it. So funny. The movie is led much more smart about it though.
There were because since it wasn't the harp in the book, how did Quirrell get past it then?
They don't explain. It just he's there.
Yeah.
Because they at the point they're thinking Snape did all this. So when they get to the next room, which is all the keys, like how did you say, oh, Snape did it? I can do it. I'm the youngest seeker in a century. And they all fly around in the books, not just him. Yeah,
there was 3 brooms. Yeah.
Harry Potter's cocky.
Yes, he is.
He is a legend.
I am the chosen one.
But at least like it took him a bit because then like even the first one like he needed convincing to even to go after the key.
I'm pretty sure, and you can see in Daniel Radcliffe's eyes the moment he learns he goes mad with power when he touches Quirrell and it breaks and he looks at his hands like I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. He just goes like. I am the chosen one.
These hands are flamethrowers.
At that moment, I finally understood the phrase. You want to see these hands?
But no, skipping back a couple traps, there's the wizard's chest, which is such a cool scene. Completely, I felt like they could have gotten around those damn things. That was
right, especially because in the movie he flies in the room with the broom.
Yeah.
You can just like carry all 3 of you on the broom. Or just
I think they may have talked about like a locked door or something, but it was just like wizard's chest, cool scene. Seems very impractical. Also, why is there just a horse with there's 3 pieces missing? How did Snape get by? They never thought of any of this. It's like, wait, Snape get by.
And that's the idea. It's like, okay, so then the game board should reset after someone won.
Yeah.
And then why would it have 2 missing pieces?
Maybe it's just a thing with Wizard's Chest where once you enchant it, you can press a reset button and it time warps and all the way back to the beginning. Who knows? That's why I'm like, I gotta explain Wizard's Chest.
Because I think in the book they actually had it to where those pieces got removed from the board and then they took the places.
I don't remember.
I think it was the whole thing. I think Ron actually wasn't riding the knight. Like he was actually.
I think he was the knight too. It was just a much cooler scene to see Rupert Grint on back when I was like, let's do this.
But then at the same, like it's cooler in the movie the way they did it. But then I think in the book it was more
also
because it's like him actually getting hurt.
There isn't like a knight on the other horse, is there? It's just the horse.
I thought it was the whole piece, and he was just because I think he was like on the side of it, kind of holding on to like a weird collar thing.
Also,
it's just a horse.
Why does he have to take the hit when he takes the sacrifice? Why doesn't he just jump off?
The movie needed to happen.
They just needed him away.
Yeah. It's like because he got hurt in the book and it was different. So
they just leave him be. They go on to the next trial.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the book.
They're just like, all right, Ron, we'll be back.
Right.
We're gonna go into the next room, which is Snape's trial, which is really I can't even. I've tried to read that, and it's like, yeah, you have to drink potions in a certain order. There's only enough potion for one person.
Or it's like enough to get forward or to go back.
Yeah.
So then you have to, if you want to take the risk, like it's a high risk, high reward. It's easier to figure out how to get out, but then you have to take a risk to possibly poison yourself to go through to the next step. I'm like, that was good. I was like, you have to really want that stone.
That's kind of in my brain, like when cut contents. And for like a book or film, that scene has always stuck in my brain. It's like, oh yeah, there was an extra trial at the end of Harry Potter. It's a cool fact. That's something. It's like one of my default facts.
Which I completely forgot about that whole entire section of the book. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Like that's a little bit too much like Saul.
Yeah, I mean it is Snape who put that trial together, so. But then
Do
they
you
get.
want to play a game? Do you want the Sorcerer's Stone? We're willing to take your own life. There are 2 potions in front of you.
One has the chance to let you go into the next room.
One you sleep forever. I can't even say it.
Yeah. I also was thinking, like, should I try an Alan Rickman? Would you like to play a game?
I can't.
I can't. I'm terrible at impressions, so it's like.
Voice at all.
I have 2 potions.
I feel like
God, Harry Potter Puppet Pals. I haven't
Yes.
thought of that in a long
Dude,
time.
I think about that probably 2 times a year, at least.
He's like, this is one of them.
Yep. That's just might be the 3rd time I talked about it this year.
Just random thought, just. Oh my God. No.
Okay, I'm done.
You're done. But then the last chapter, The Man with Two Faces.
What chapter is it?
No, we don't. No.
I
You
believe
said it.
it's chapter 17.
17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 chapters.
Coincidence that.
Yeah. But he goes up and it's not Snape, it's Quirrell. What? Big shocker.
Stuttering.
Papa, stuttering, Quirrell. Lies. Overacting in the best way. I mean, Quirrell, it comes out of it because you've seen all the characters like twice, 3 times maybe in the film. By I don't know, a couple more.
I think 3. Actually,
But he's never in long films. He's always kind of just there.
Just for boom.
Speaking of that, there's an added. You see him at least one more time in the movie than you do the book, because when McGonagall and Harry go to get Oliver, he's actually in Flitwick's class. He's in.
Not in
He's
Defense
not-
Against the Dark
yeah,
Arts.
so, like,
He's in
so I always thought that was weird.
Not Transfiguration. Charms?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought that was like a weird change. Like, is it just because they wanted to just have as much exposure of that character for the climax as they could?
Also, Professor Flitwick in the first 2 films looks very different than he does in them later.
That is true.
Is they combined his character with another to make. It's all gosh, what's his name?
It's
R2D2.
Wait, don't.
Oh man, I'm gonna feel so bad.
I am too.
Warwick Davis?
Yes.
Yeah, he did all those. He did wow, which goblin name? Grip Hook, I think is who he plays. Yeah, Grip Hook, and then Professor Flitwick in the first one. He also has a couple other roles throughout the series. Like his credits are like everywhere. But yeah, they get in and it's Quirrell who finally takes off the turban. You know, it's such interesting CGI. Every time I watch it, I say that's bad. I'm like, it's not bad. It's bad. Certain shots are better. Like when it's in the mirror and it's just the CGI face doesn't look too bad.
Yeah.
But like every time the camera moves around Quirrell, it just looks kind of weird.
It's not bad, but it's not good.
Kind of has like that kind of weird, like with the Sorting Hat over.
The Sorting Hat has a, oh my god, Ron in the Sorting Hat is such a bad keying. Like, and when he sits down, just the way he is, it's just something about like the frame rate and the key. It just I don't like
wrong.
that shot. It's just
I know
like
exactly what shot.
Oh,
Smug little fucker.
it's something about the color correction between him and the background. It just didn't work. But so do you guys remember the exact reason why he could? Because it's the love spell, but like why he was able to touch him without him touching. Like they go into it in the book more, and I sadly kind of skimmed over the last chapter because I realized I forgot to read. I read the entire book but the last chapter, and I just quickly skimmed over it. And went, oh crap!
Are you talking about like with the flamethrower hands?
Yeah, flamethrower hands. Like how he's able to, Quirrell's able to touch him, but he can't touch the other way.
I don't know.
I think they
do
explained
explain it somehow.
it. It went over my head.
Because I feel like, wasn't it more like, I feel like in the movie they had it to where he actually touched him, but I feel like in the book,
Yeah, I feel like the book's
anytime
different,
there was
right?
any contact,
Yeah.
I think is what, because even in the...
That's maybe what's confusing me. It's different between the
Yeah.
book and movie.
I think that's why every time I see the movie now, after rereading the book, I've been like confused. I'm like, but whether he's touching Harry or Harry, like, I know it's a magical world, but I don't think that whole idea discerns whether it's who's the initiation or who initiates the touching of the other
I
person.
touch you, you touch me.
Like, I think it's a contact. Yeah, that's Don't make it weird, Brandon. Bring on.
Oh. Then he doesn't turn into a ghost in the book, right? And like pass through him. He basically like chokes him out, and they like all like die. Like he passes.
He just passed out and he wakes up, and then he's just like suddenly in the.
Yeah, because I don't like the scene of the ghost Voldemort flying through Harry in CG. It's such a bad shot. It's just like.
I hate it so much. I watched it the other day and I was just like, what
Why?
the fuck is this?
Just cut that
Why?
entirely and it would be fine.
Yes. No one needed that.
But yeah,
Harry's outfit was fly though.
you did mention that.
Harry's fit.
As I said, it's the first couple movies. They tried to dress them like wizards until they just gave up about 3 films in, give or take.
Like, you over that band T-shirt? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, cool. Snape's history lie. He straight up lies to Harry in the book about Snape's background.
Yeah.
Yeah, he straight up lies to Harry that, because he says, oh no, Snape was trying to save your life because your dad saved Snape's life. Not, Snape loves your mom. So he straight up, I mean, I did James save Severus's life at any point? I think that was a lie. I'll have to double check on that. I mean, we are doing more episodes. I can't do research between
I guess
episodes.
movie-wise,
But that was reading it through. I was like, to do some research. Where's my asterisks on here? Can I see your sources? I know Dumbledore twists truth sometimes.
Not being fully honest wouldn't have helped anything at that point.
What was that face for?
The meme I found.
Oh, greatness.
It must be that good because he's choked up.
But after Harry gets out of the hospital, and the whole scene, it's ripped straight from the book, but Bertie bought every flavor beans, so, earwax. It's such a, I said this before, like out of the actors who portrayed Dumbledore, the first 2, then he passed away, and then the second actor, they fit the tone of their movies respectively.
Yeah.
I like it, because I can't see the more kind of serious portrayal. I don't know, I just got a message from Brandon.
Open. Rejected. Like, you couldn't have them switching, like...
Yeah, it would have been weird to have an older person do all the heavy... I mean, it would have been more like Yoda in episode 2, like putting down the cane, all of a sudden getting like super...
Mm-hmm. Like, which I guess
He's
is
over there cackling up.
There's another starter pack thing. What is this?
That's nowhere near this movie.
Oh my god.
That is one of the
I haven't seen that for so long. Oh my god.
Oh, that's too good.
I've never seen
You've never seen that?
I've never
Really?
seen that.
I think the first time I saw
You're
that,
giving
I
me
actually
so much work on this episode.
I couldn't process like what it was the first time I ever saw it. Because I was like, oh.
For those of you that didn't see,
I'll put it up
it will put it up
now.
It's a baby Voldemort. He's next to some celery and ranch. It says the last wingy sitting there like. It's like that baby Voldemort from I think it's Harry Potter.
That's like the last scene in like the last
film.
film.
And he's like finally coming back to his human form and he's like rebirthing and he's a fetus.
Oh, when he's thrown in the pot, because isn't it the 5th book? Or 5th book?
That's 4. That's 4.
Oh,
it 4?
yeah, it's the goblet. Yeah, goblet fire.
Yeah.
Oh my God, whichever one.
Which is a very weird scene, like watching that. And I was like,
It's a weird. It's a worse description in the book. I remember my mom and I reading that, going like, "This is weird," which we'll get to when we get to 4. But Slytherin actually won the House Cup. God damn it! Gryffindor stole it away from them.
Right.
That is true.
And Neville got marks in herbology. I like how they started doing that from the first book. It was like, hey.
Right.
Because in the movie, it just kind of pops out in like the 4th film, I want to say.
Yeah,
They finally like start talking about
weed, whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
I kind of like herbology.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
Actually, yeah, they talk more about like herbology with Hermione than they did Neville.
herbology.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I can still see the tear.
It was a good meme. It was a good one.
Bro, I've never seen that before, and then the way I found it, I was trying to find the Harry Potter outfit, like the red sweater with the khakis and the shoes.
Yeah.
And
That came up.
And what
I searched up Harry Potter fighting Professor Quirrell, and then one of the suggestions was Baby Voldemort, and I was just like. What the fuck? And then I clicked it, and then that was the first image that popped up, and I was just like, oh my god. It's like, I have to show the world. The world must know.
But, oh my god.
It's stuck in my head.
Just like the Hogwarts Express, we're getting derailed every 3 minutes here.
It's okay.
Oh, it's so good.
It's at least Harry Potter derailing. It's
True.
within the universe.
It is canon.
God, yeah, you all remember that one time the Hogwarts Express just freaking derailed and the whole 3rd years got killed. It was rough.
Voldemort was a chicken.
Voldemort was a chicken
I'm pretty
string.
sure that's how Harry Potter
A lot.
defeated Voldemort. He just dipped him in
Had to be celery afterwards.
Game over, man.
That's the
last
Harry Potter
stab.
son.
Oh my god. Fun fact, I noticed while watching this, the credits in the first movie are normal. From 3 on, they I'm assuming 2. I didn't pay attention to.
They do like the fun credits.
They do fun credits from 3 on. They have a
Yeah.
theming or something that
They
ties
make
to
it
the
look
movie.
like the Marauders map. Or
Yeah, and then
whatever.
4 is like the Goblet of Fire. They theme them to the movies, but it just cuts to black Chris Columbus, and it's like, oh, okay,
More cinematic.
more cinema. And they also had the full theme
Yeah.
playing over it, so
That's true.
they had the music to lull you to stay. And this is also before the Marvel end credit. You gotta stay
right.
till the end of the credits,
Yeah.
just in case. And not everybody's doing it. Sometimes.
Right.
That's why you usually sit there and Google, like, shit, is there anything after this? I have to pee. This is a 2.5 hour long movie. So,
You weren't even trying to be discreet.
no, it's like the 3rd or 4th time he's not trying to be discreet. But, I leave it here at the end of the episode when, But, no, the first film I really like, but going through and watching it, it is very... I mean, it's a great setup film, but it makes me want to watch some of the later ones even more, because it's definitely not my favorite of the movies. It's a great starter movie. Got me all hooked into it.
Not my
Trimmed all the fat. Not personal favorite, but
I
love
like
the
that.
world. Love what it did for the rest of the series.
Yeah, for sure. I like Chamber more than it, for sure. But
Their second go is a much better film. I do like Chamber Secrets a lot better. But yeah. Any final thoughts on the first film, Brandon, or book? Anything I didn't hit on that you wanted to talk about?
Probably. I just need a sec to think it over.
I got you.
do we talk about? What was the question?
Just anything I didn't touch on that you guys
Anything
wanted to
that
talk
we
about.
missed, I'm just
Closing
trying to
remarks.
think. It's
Wrapping
just
it
such
up
a-
here.
Yeah, it's
There's
just
so
such a
much to
big-
talk about, and we'll probably hit stuff on later episodes. We'll come back and I'll do research and figure out what the hell half of these things I talked about today was. But yeah,
Green goods. Oh, the rides.
Harry Potter rides,
Yeah. I just kind of want to touch on those real quick while we're within
the universe. Yes.
Yeah, just because I feel like that the Forbidden Journey is kind of a homage to like the first couple movies.
I thought Forbidden Journey was more.
I mean,
the later. Forbidden Journey is the castle.
It is
Yes,
the castle.
okay.
It is like with them modern like nowadays, but I
Oh,
also
but
feel like the vibe.
they'll-
of it
yeah.
feels
Well,
very, like
Yeah, they went for that Chris Columbus vibe. That's
Kind of.
It's
dark for sure.
It's also more
but,
unified too. The later films do kind of do less with the tone, just because there's a lot more story they have to pack into less and less time. So
they just kind of threw everything at the wall with that, right? So it just felt very
it
Harry
felt
Potter, I guess.
it felt like
I guess,
they built the first set. It felt like you're walking into the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Forbidden Journey, the facade and all of that itself
the
is
castle
just
makes me
insane. That's why I'm like,
yeah.
it in snow just looks so pretty. It looks like the Christmas scenes from the movie from the film.
Yeah, it makes me think of that first movie. Although the ride inside
Is more like the later films.
yes,
yeah.
exactly. But it does have like the Whomping Willow, which I mean is in every movie, but I mean primarily like
the design
two.
changes between which movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean that ride is just crazy though.
That was a way more intense ride than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I
Holy
actually
crap.
didn't know what I was going into.
I didn't know the ride mechanism either. I just thought it was a Harry Potter ride. It's so
Yeah,
fun.
like,
and
that's
then,
cool.
or moving backwards, upside down, spinning, screaming, going, what the?
Yeah.
Having a great time, but also a
Good
panic
trip.
attack at the same time.
Yeah, you got Dementors up in your face.
Whomping Willow,
Yeah.
going backwards, upside down.
Spiders, spooters.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, I genuinely had no, like, that's one of the few rides I went on I didn't have any idea what
Yeah,
it
then it
was
just throws you around and you're just like, what the fuck?
I'm dead now. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I am dead.
And they have the Hagrids now. I want to do that.
That's
I
gonna be
really
so
wanna
fun.
do
Hagrid's ride, because I enjoy Dueling Dragons, but I'm down for a themed roller coaster in that
Yeah.
area. That's even better. Okay, you know.
Yeah.
Dueling.
Dueling Dragons is cool, but yeah, I'm excited for it. This is kind of cool that they have two ways that you can ride it though too, because they have the sidecar and then they have the bike.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
that.
it's,
Sidecar less intense, maybe, or.
I mean, it's just the way you're sitting.
Oh, okay.
It's literally they're next to each other. It's like how you'd have two roller coaster
Yeah.
seats next to each other. It's just one's actually like you're sitting on the
Oh,
bike and
okay.
you lock in like over your legs,
Interesting.
and then the other one is
You're in a
the
cart.
sidecar. Yeah.
Interesting.
Does it have two, like, in each spot? Is that how it is? Or is it one?
Yeah.
It's like rows of two of
Yeah.
motorbikes in a row.
Yeah.
Are the vehicles? Yes. Huh. Yeah, I am definitely excited going to trying out that next year. That will be so much fun. Yeah, down to hit up Green God's Bank again. That'll be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That ride was pretty intense. All the Harry Potter rides that they had.
Yeah.
It was less intense, but definitely was. It's a universal ride. They just kind of do stuff, throw you at screens, have some ride mechanism usually going back and forth. But yeah, the Universal. We went out there 2016, so it's been a bit since we've been out there, but it is. Oh, okay.
That's cool. Okay.
Interesting.
So it's really not like
Yeah.
that much different. Like
It
you
just
still
which
get,
are you sitting or are you like sitting up or sitting down?
Yeah, because you still get a lap bar over regardless. But
It's still kind of cool, kind of like on Indy, how, like, all the spots are pretty much the same except you're
Except
in the
for
driver's seat.
Driver's seat.
So it's
I
like
have to
that.
hold the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does nothing, but it makes me feel better.
fake wheel.
Like, I'm saving all of us.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe the last thing, did we already say, like, which we preferred between the book and the movie?
Oof. All right. For this first one, I'd probably. I read the book relatively fast, but I probably would say movie all in all for my preferred method for the first book at least, because I like certain things in the later books more. I feel like I just watch the first movie and then like skip on. I can kind of skip over the first book a little bit because I've also. It's the one I've known for the longest. I know the story like the back of my hand most of the time. It's just the order of things I kind of switch around just because, you know, brain. Yeah, I probably prefer the movie a little bit more
Okay.
because it set up everything well. Yeah, probably movie. Brandon?
Probably movie.
Oh, surprise. Book.
Book? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a hard choice, but probably movie just because it would be a little bit shorter and I'd get me to the later things I like a little bit more.
I grew up with the book. I just like the way that they presented the movie. I like the feeling I get when I watch it. You know, gives me that magic. I mean, I still get that magic when I read it, but it's just a little bit more.
When I read it, I envision the movie in my brain.
That's kind of what happens,
true.
and then I'm just like, okay, well then I like the movie. You know,
It's
like, I like
it's
them
fun to
both,
go.
but-
I'll watch the movie every week if need be, but I'll read the book every year.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Like, I don't need to consume that as much.
You guys are fighting with your mic.
I know, right? He's stealing my mic cables. But yeah.
Fuck off. Whoa. Oh, fuck off.
But yeah. I really am excited to get going on the later films here, and probably every couple months we'll hit a film here, get us through them all. But yeah, find us on socials. We are Saturday Boys Pod on mostly everything. I'm Nick Benz 9001 still. Brandon.
Pickled Brandon on pretty much everything. Band end credits. Tag that's end credits official, and we just put out the EP.
Oh yes.
Silhouettes is out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, everything. Anthony.
Besides Koala.
Nice.
And he is streaming
Yes.
and posting the bots.
On his YouTube, which is the same.
Yes.
Thanks everyone for coming and going to our first year at Hogwarts with us.
And thank you for listening. Coming and listening.
Cheers, everybody. I drink a little bit of whipped cream here.
My nasty whipped
Nasty
cream.
ass whipped cream.
I ain't drinking
Thanks.
that. Fuck that.
I got a little bit of.